Hello all, welcome to this video. In this video we are going to study selection sort. This is also one of the algorithm that is used for sorting. Recently I have made a video on insertion sort. If you want you can watch the video. Okay, already it is there on my channel, and today we are going to see selection sort. Selection, what is the meaning of selection? It means you are going to select a item and place it in a correct position. Okay, to make it more simple, let me take a example: 64, 25, 22, 19, 10. Fine. Now let's imagine that, okay, this is somewhere arranged in some order. Okay, what we will do, okay, we'll go and we'll try to arrange it in ascending order. Okay, ascending order. What is the first step? Whenever you are going for selection sort, this is much more easier to understand compared to insertion sort, a bubble sort. Okay. Now observe it carefully. How many elements are there? There are 5 elements. What we will do is we will try to find, if you want to arrange it in ascending order, what is the first thing? You need to place the first element as the minimum element, right? Minimum element. So what we will do, we'll try to find the minimum among this particular array. Which is the minimum in this array? It is 10, right? And after writing 10, what we will do, we'll try to see, actually this and this element will be swapped. We'll try to find the minimum among this, and now we know that this is the minimum element, so we'll swap both of this. Okay, so after doing the first operation, you will see that 64 is replaced with 10, 25, 22, 19, 64. So now we'll leave this part because we consider this is already arranged in the required order. We'll consider only this part now. In this part, we will try to find which is the minimum element. Among all these, we know that 19 is the minimum. So what we will do, we'll swap 19 with 25. We'll send 25 here, right? So our new array will be something like this: 22, 25, 64. Fine. Now we'll consider this part to be arranged correctly in the required order. So we need to arrange this part. In this we'll try to find the minimum. So here minimum is 22. We can just swap this both again in its place only. So it will be 22, 10, 19, 22, 25 and 64. Now if you look at this part is already arranged in the required order, and these two, among this minimum will be found and it will be swapped with itself. The same way, what is the first step? You are going to find the minimum among the given array and then swap it with the first element, later swap it with the second element, third element, fourth element, fifth element. So you can clearly see that you are going to start with the first element. Swapping is going to be started with the first element. So if you are writing a for loop, in the for loop will always have int I is equal to 0. We are going to start from first element, and then we are going to end in the last element. I is less than n, I plus plus. Fine. And in this we are going to first find out which is the minimum element. So initially what we need to do, we need to consider a element to be a minimum element. So I'll consider int minimum index, minimum element index to be ith element. So initially I am going to consider 10 is the minimum element here. It will depend upon the array. If I have got a new array, let's consider 7, 5, 15, 10, 4. Now I'll consider this 7 is to be a minimum element, so the index of this is 0 initially, so 7 is the minimum element. And then what we will do, we'll run another for loop. This for loop will run from this part, okay, because here we are going to find the minimum. Already I have considered this is minimum. Then I'll check whether among these is there any smaller element which is less than this. For that I need to run a loop from second element in the first case. So I'll write j is equal to j is equal to I plus 1, and then j is less than n and j plus plus. I did not use I because already I is used here, okay. And then after this I'll check if array of I is less than array of minimum index, right? If this is the case, then what I will do, I'll consider minimum index as, okay, it should be j, because I'm going to check this one, considering this as the first element. Initially I will be equal to 0. In that j will run from j is equal to 1 to j is equal to 4, right? And that's why j minimum index will be now equal to j, right? After considering this part, we are going to check the next part, and that is we are going to swap it. First step is to consider first element as the minimum index and then run a loop, okay, and this is going to be in the for loop. See, this is a bigger for loop, there is another for loop inside, and then after finishing this for loop we are going to swap the minimum index element and minimum index element and the ith element. Now you see, minimum index element value is changed, therefore we are going to swap. We'll consider a temporary variable. Will store array of minimum index in that minimum index, and then array of minimum index is equal to array of, we are going to swap both, so I'll write I here, and then array of I is equal to temp. This is going to swap our two things, okay. This is going to solve our problem. Let's see how we'll code this using C program. Already I have written the code. You can observe here. We have got a selection sort. We have got two variables being received, that is int array and int n. N is the number of elements in the array, and then we are running a for loop from I to n, okay. I is less than, okay, here see we have got, okay, we have written here n minus 1, means we are going to run I from here till here only, okay. If I run till here, then j value will be what, which will be out of the index, out of bound for the index, and that's why you are going to run I is equal to 0 to I is equal to n minus 1. Only till here you are going to run. This one will be automatically sorted. Actually, the last element will be automatically sorted if you are arrange it till here, okay. You need to understand this concept. So here we have got I is less than or equal to n minus 1, as you can see in the code, fine. And then we are going to consider max index. Here we are going to arrange it in descending order. Whatever I have explained, it is in ascending order. Only this symbol will be changing. I'll execute and show you, okay. And here I am going to start j is equal to I plus 1 and j is less than n and j plus plus. There is no change here, okay. And then this is going to give us the minimum, okay, maximum index, okay. After that we are going to swap both of this maximum index and I. because maximum index value will be changed here if there is any element which is less than that. Fine. And then we are going to swap, and there is another function which is print array function. This is very simple. It is going to just print all the elements. It is going to take array and a number of elements in that. In the main function you can see we have got a array 64, 25, 12, 22 and 10. We are going to find the size of the array using this one, and this is going to print original array. When you are printing original array, we are going to use this print array function. See, every time you need not write for loop, that's why they have written a function once and they are using it again and again in order to print any of the array. Okay, whenever you are printing array multiple times, better to write this function. And after that we are going to go for selection sort. Selection sort function is called here. It is going to take two. One is array. It's going to take this array as a parameter and then a number of elements as soon as we call this function, this part will be executed, and when it is executed, it is going to arrange the array in the required format. Fine. And then in the end we are going to write a sorted array. Sorted array will be printed here. Okay, let's go for execution. GCC selection.c. Fine. And then we are going to execute it. You can see this is arranged now in the descending order: 64, 25, 22, 12 and 11. Okay, now let's imagine that you want to print it in the descending order. For that, just change the symbol. Okay, greater than, make it smaller than. Now you can see that if you change this symbol, I am going to have it in the ascending order. Okay, it was descending order, now it is in ascending order. You need not change. If you want, you can change this max to min, not a problem, but that is just acting like a variable. It has nothing to do with your uh, arrangement or sorting. Okay, I hope you have understood this code. If you have got any doubt, you can put it in the comment section below. Thank you.